In this video, I'm going to show you my numbers for October. Going to blow your mind how we're knocking it down and we're not doing much heavy lifting. We're also going to talk about my workhorse trade, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting kicked in the ribs, but I want to show you how I'm going to deal with it. You know, a lot of you may have gotten into workhorse over the past month. It has rallied to 30, it has peeled back to 20, and you might be wondering what I'm doing because you know I have 1,000 shares. Look, I'm going to show you exactly how to play this trade, how I'm going to play this trade, so I want you to stick around because I know you're going to like this one. Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, I'm back behind the mic. I'm fired up. I want to talk about a trade that I did a couple weeks ago. And to be honest with you, the trade has gone bad. And in fact, it's Workhorse. We talked about this before where I had a great feeling for Workhorse when it was trading around $14, $15. And I was absolutely spot on with what I thought would happen. And it rallied as high as $30-something intraday. And a lot of us got involved with Workhorse, right? I mean, all of the electric car talk, Tesla making people rich, and Workhorse being a very inexpensive stock at the time. Hey, a lot of small ball players get involved with those kind of stocks. Well, many of you may have gotten in higher, like I have, and to be honest with you, with the stock now falling to close to $20, we have to have a plan because now we're underwater. So I have 1,000 shares. I have a current covered call on them. But we're going to talk about my strategy going forward because Workhorse has had some interesting news that is not favorable. I want to talk about what I'm going to do going forward. See, I show you my trades, we talk about them, so maybe you learn something. That's the key here. And a lot of you told me last week's video with DraftKings, you really took away a lot of good stuff from that where we talked about using an exit strategy to potentially roll down a cash secure put for more credit. That's what I love hearing. I love hearing the feedback. So what I want you to do, I want you to subscribe to the channel if you like anything you hear today because I come back every single week and I show you timely and relevant cover call and cash secure put trades. We talk about selling premium here where we collect money, selling the right but not the obligation to give somebody our shares. We get paid for that. And hey, if we have cash on the sidelines, we can sell cash secure puts, be assigned somebody's shares, get paid doing it along the way. So look, if you like anything you hear today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And I do want to encourage you to post a comment below and hit the like button because it tells me, that's your chance to tell me you're interested. The videos I bring to you every single week are, in fact, upping the game. Now look, I just updated the website. That is real 2020 numbers. I'm going to show you my total tracker spreadsheet. It's going to blow your mind what I have done in October. But the idea that I can use a very conservative strategy in selling premium to generate that kind of return, that kind of cash. A lot of you may be new to the channel and you don't understand what selling premium is. I'm not going to go into the basics here, but do understand that this strategy involves we have shares and we're going to give somebody the right, but not the obligation to take them from us. They're going to pay us. Now, we pick the price and we pick the time frame for which we give them that opportunity. And that's how we make that per share premium or that guaranteed monthly income I talk about because generally we try to do a 30-day trade. That's sort of the wheelhouse trade for a selling premium trader. I know a lot of you out there love the weeklies, right? You love collecting that weekly paycheck. I do too. But we can do this on a 30-day basis and really collect that 3%, that 4% per share cash on cash. And I have been doing that for the past 4.5 years, having the kind of success that blows my mind because I was a swing trader, day trader with no success. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for my man, Jerry, and our story's right there. It's a 6-minute video for which I tell you my story with Jerry. If it wasn't for Jerry, I would not be where I'm at now, knocking down this kind of success. So maybe I inspire and motivate you. Now look, let's go ahead and get to this. I'm going to show you what I show my premium members as well. Yes, I have a premium service. It's right there. It's the upgraded CPT dashboard, and I'll tell you what, it's growing. I have a 1 free month offer at the end, but I'm going to show you two communications that I send to my members on Workhorse. So I think you want to stick around. I think you're going to like that. Let's go ahead and get to that right now. Now, one of the things I try to pride myself on is if we talk about something and I'm up here just saying I'm knocking it down, printing the cash, printing machine, right? I love to come back and show a video where I'm losing, right? That trade for which I was printing cash is not printing cash anymore, and I'm in the hole. The reason I love coming back showing you, because maybe you're in the same situation. Hey, look, I don't advocate that when I do a video, you then do the trade, but it happens. I get it. With that said, what happens if the trade goes against us? See, I try to come back, do a video, talk about it, because you might be sitting there wondering, man, John talked about printing the cash. I know he's down. Why doesn't he come back and talk about him being down now? Well, I love coming back showing you those trades too, because we have to have a plan. And how are we going to be successful if you don't have a plan when the trade goes against us? So as you can see, I talked about Workhorse a couple times, and I talked about how the small ball players can get into Workhorse because the shares were inexpensive. Now, on the internet, there are tons of videos on the wheel, and they talk about the wheel strategy because you can sell a cash secure put, collect the premium, and if you're assigned the shares, you can then write a covered call. It's a wheel of profit. And I've done many videos on it. In fact, I would watch that one right there. That's where I talk about the wheel strategy. And I'm telling you, for a lot of you, you may have picked up some of the shares I talk about. And Workhorse being really cheap at the time does not surprise me if you found yourself in Workhorse. Now, back when I was talking about Workhorse here, the stock's trading for $14 and $15. So to have 100 shares or to do a cash secure put, all you needed was $1,400. So for small ball accounts that have $5,000 or less, Workhorse fits that profile real quick, right? Well, now Workhorse has gone higher, man. It spiked as much as $30 a share. And, if you have visions of Tesla, where Tesla has made people rich, maybe you're thinking the same thing with Workhorse. Well, Workhorse rallied to 30, and even I bought in higher than I wanted, and now it has peeled back. There's been some news, and I'll tell you what, I'm a little shaky right now on Workhorse. Now, I haven't sold my shares. I still have a covered call on my 1,000 shares. But here's the breakdown. Here's what I showed my premium members, because I know a lot of them might be in it as well. I wanted to talk about support lines for the stock, where I might do a cash secure put or sell my shares or even buy back my current covered call and write another one. I talk about cost basis in this. You need to understand, a lot of times I never ever talk about cost basis using my selling premium money. I don't, because my premise is I'm in retirement, I have shares, I sell premium, I spend that premium. So I'm not reducing my cost basis at all. I spent that money. In this case, though, I might have to use some cost basis to get out of this trade even Steven. Now, I hate that, but at the end of the day, you have to have a plan, execute the plan. Luckily, if I have to bail on Workhorse, I have collected enough premium where I'm not hurting that bad. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you my October numbers real quick. We're going to fold that right into the Workhorse trade. Stick around. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with Workhorse going forward. Now, look, I know I'm giving you a lot here. Please pause the video or come back and listen later. I know a lot of you will comment and say, hey, I'm just too much in a short amount of time. So take this in bits and pieces, but do always try to watch the trade. That's where you're going to get the most from my videos from a trading standpoint. So one thing I want to show you before we get to that trade is my P&L for 2020. Right now, there's a lot of P&L YouTube video creators out there talking about P&L and how YouTubers do not show P&L. Right? You got all the fake gurus. You got all the people selling services, and nobody shows their trades. And in fact, there is a fake guru that he comes on the commercial saying nobody in their right mind will show their real trades but me. Look, I show my P&L pretty much every single video. If anything, I show you my totals. Premium members get to see all of my trades in 2019. Hey, in 2020, They're going to see those when the upgraded CTP dashboard is released in January. They're going to see all of my trades for 2020. I love just showing trades and being transparent. Look, for me, it's a comparison with golf. If you've ever played golf and you're trying to beat the course, right? Cheating yourself does nothing to help you get better, right? If I go out there and I get a 5 on a hole and I put down that I got a 3 and we do this every single hole, how am I going to get better, right? Same here. If I come here and show you my trades and all these numbers are juiced, how do we get better? That's why I show you my P&L all the time. And with that said, I'm going to show you my monthlies right here. First of all, note that we are about to cross $250,000 in this 4.5-year period. Remember, this number in blue started 0 in August 2016 when I showed you my P&L for the very first time. And here we are with a selling premium portfolio, stock appreciation, covered call premiums, cash secure put premiums, and any dividends I may have collected during the time I held the stock, $249,269. Literally, if I close a trade right now, I got some trades on the books, it's going to cross $250,000. I don't know about you, but that is real money in retirement, and I love it because that'll pay some bills. Learning a strategy. Let's go down to the October numbers. I want to show you this because this creeped up on me. Did not even realize this until I did my midweek weekly email for my premium members. And what I do is I give some stock commentary and then I show my current trades with all these numbers from my total tracker. And when I pasted in the October numbers for the first time in October, damn near $13,000. Look at that, $12,997 for October. And I'll tell you, those are closed book trades. If you know my trackers, that number does not get updated until the trade has been closed. Those are closed. Could you imagine going to your better half and stacking $12,900? Look, I love it. Let's start counting. 100, 200, 300. You get my point. I love selling premium. And in 2020, having my best year ever, we're almost at 87,000. A lot of people think I can get to 100,000. That's never been my goal. My goal this year has been 55,000, but I'll tell you what, 100,000 could be reached. Okay, I do apologize. The video going much longer. I apologize. We're going to get to that workhorse trade here in a minute. Check this out. New phone app coming for all premium members. You get it with your monthly subscription. No added charge. I'll tell you what, I always try to up the game. To be honest with you, man, I come from a spot where I paid for all the premium services out there. The $50 a month, the $300 a month. So when I wanted to share my upgraded CTP dashboard to anybody that was willing to put skin in the game, I was going to try my damnedest to make sure they got value. Now, the upgraded CTP dashboards alone are value. But then I started emailing. Then I started doing all these things that I do right here on the channel. I love it. And that has grown to where now I have a communication app that is in beta right now. I had at least half of my members want to be a part of it. Only can do 10 right now. But you are literally going to have the upgraded CTP dashboard premium membership communications in your hand. I get people telling me all the time they always want to keep the numbers in front of them. All right, so let's step back to an email I sent on October 13th. I'm starting to feel a little worried about Workhorse. I'm going to show you the chart here. I'm going to show you why. Some news came out. You can see right there, breaking news, Workhorse is downgraded on concerns of the Postal Service contract. We talked about that in the videos where Wall Street was pushing Workhorse higher. They might get the last mile trucks, those electric trucks for the last mile for the Postal Service. And with them being tightly wound with this whole political thing, if you remember, Trump announced that Workhorse bought the GM building in Lordstown, Ohio. So there was a lot of excitement around Workhorse. And the stock actually rallied from 30 cents to some $30. Now, it's peeled off since then. I'm in Workhorse. I've made a lot of money on Workhorse. With this news, it's worrying me. I am in Workhorse at about 23x. I have a couple covered calls on them. Now, those covered calls are still active, but this is what I sent to my members. And here's the deal. I have a real concern that if Workhorse does not bounce off of support, we could be falling back to another support. And I'm going to show you on the chart where that's at. But this was the email I sent about Workhorse. And right there you can see it. As Workhorse is falling, man, it has to keep support or else it could fall some $6 more because in the next chart I'm going to show you, that's where I think the real support's at. Let's check that out. So what is John watching? Well, I'm watching Workhorse, and I sent this out. Look, at a certain point, players that want to get in, that haven't got into Workhorse or a particular stock, there's going to be entry points. And for Workhorse peeling off so hard, so fast, this might be their moment. Now, I may not do this, but here's the deal. I am always watching because I always watch my investments. So when Workhorse got down to 20.50, for me, I saw support somewhere in the high 19s. Now, my true cost basis with all the premiums I've sold is about 19.40. So I'm still in a profitable or favorable position. Don't like the fact that I'm giving up all that premium, but worst case scenario, if I think the floor is going to fall out of Workhorse, at least I have a little wiggle room. So as I'm looking at Workhorse now, it is something I'm watching. And it is a great cash secure put play looking at the support lines. I'm going to show you the real support line here in a minute, but this is what I sent out. You could do a cash secure put, and I'll tell you, this might be the time to do it. Let's go ahead and get to that chart, see where it's at now, and see if it held the original support I talked about in that first email. Okay, so I know I'm long in the video. Come on, give me some runway here. Here's the starter show, the current chart of Workhorse. And this thing has peeled off. You may not be somebody that bought it up here like me, okay? So you may right now be benefiting from this fluff sell-off. And to be honest with you, that's one hell of a fluff sell-off when you consider that's 30 right there. So $30 to $20 is a heck of a sell-off. So right now the fluff may have come out of this stock, right? All that anticipation of the Postal Service contract has come out of it. And in fact, that Postal Service contract decision will not be made until late December. And there's been some negative news. Now you have short sellers writing blog posts, and they're really pushing and leaning on this thing with all the bad news, talking about how the trucks have issues. They're not going to meet demand. Look, have to stay clear-headed here. We have to stay focused. We want to look at the support line. Now, at the end of the day, are these the end-all, be-all? Of course not. Once this thing, because it's thinly traded, this thing could fall off the table quickly. But I'm a believer in this, right? I have 1,000 shares. I'm still in the game. So I have to have a plan. So the plan is this. I sold some covered calls up here. Got paid some big bucks. I think I got paid $4 for a couple of them. Love it. Put the money in the pocket. Since then, remember, those were 30-day trades. Since then, these options that I got paid $4 for are trading for under $1. So now I'm going to think about taking those obligations off the board, right? If I come back and buy these for, let's say, 50 cents, well, that's going to be great because I pocket the $3.50 on 1,000 shares. So that's going to reduce my cost basis. Remember that I don't like to do that. I like to spend my money when I make my premium. But here's the deal. Sometimes you just have to use this for cost basis reduction. So remember, I'm in. My cost basis is around 23x. So the reality is with it trading at 20x, collecting $3.50 from the 2 covered calls I did, well, that's going to reduce my cost basis to where it's about currently traded. So I get lucky there, right? I mean, if you're buying it at 30, you're in trouble because that same $4 premium still sets you back. You're still down 5 points. So I'm in a favorable position as of today. So what I did was, in that email I sent, I saw 2 possible support lines. And let's go ahead and talk about those support lines right now. So as it was falling, I was looking at this support line right here because as it's making lower lows in this short-term period, what I saw was about 19x. If this thing fell below 19x, it closed below 19x, we could go to the next support level. And that's the scary one because this is going to be more near 14x. Okay, so this is where it was trading at 14.15 when I first started doing those videos. And we end up catching a nice momentum run, and as you can see, it did run higher. Well, now we have to look at these support lines. And at 19X, if it breaks 19X, we're going to go to 14X for the most part. Luckily, that didn't happen because as you see, it hit about 19X and it rallied higher. Now, it's only a point higher, but that's where I feel the selling has come out of it. Doesn't mean there's buyers, doesn't mean there's people out there just buying up Workhorse shares. The selling momentum is out of it. And as you can see, look at the two green trades down there. Okay? So we're getting more buyers than sellers. Doesn't mean there's enough buyers to really push this thing up a couple points, but at the end of the day, that could be support, right? And with this not being a perfect world, Wall Street could open up on Monday on some bad news and they're just going to sell. So you have to be prepared for that. So what can we do? We can do three things in the short term. Number one, we can buy shares and we can then write a covered call. I would do a 30-day covered call, and I think you can collect some $3.50, maybe $4. So that would be one strategy if you're not in the stock. Now, another strategy would be to start a wheel strategy, right? Instead of buying the shares, you do a cash secure put for which you sell an at-the-money cash secure put. So right now it's trading at 20.34. So what you do is you probably sell a 20, right? It's a little bit out of the money, but I mean, it's right there, right? Maybe you write a 21, okay? That's an in the money, and you're going to get paid for that. Now, you're going to watch this trade for 30 days, and if Workhorse doesn't do anything, you'll be assigned the shares at 21 or 20, depending where the stock's at. You can then write a covered call. You probably pick up about $4 or $5 on that cash secure put and at the money cash secure put. By the way, a lot of wheel players will do a 22 because that's really in the money. That gives them a chance to really be assigned the shares. If you remember, I did an early wheel strategy cash secure put. I didn't get assigned the shares. I had to buy them outright. So you might do that. And at the money or in the money cash secure put to start your wheel. Going to probably pick up about $4 or $5 in premium. That's $400 and $500 deposited into your account for the next 30 days. And then if you get assigned the shares, you can write a covered call. But how about us players that are in it now? We have to have a plan. We have to execute the plan. My plan is, remember, I'm in at about 23X. And I sold, I think, the 29X out of the money covered call. I got paid like $4 for it, and it's trading for like 50 cents. So I'm able to come in, pay the 50 cents, pocket the $3.50, and we move on, okay? I call this my premium crumb. I profit that $3.50. Now, I know for a lot of you, you're probably saying, hey, look, man, the stock's trading at 20. You're in at 23. How are you profiting? Look, I do not end a trade until the shares are sold. Everything in between me buying the shares and selling the shares is just me doing business. Had to clarify that a couple times because I'll come on here, talk about how I made thousands of dollars in UPro, and I was down some $4,000 and $5,000 in the stock. Some people were blown away that I'm professing I'm making thousands when I'm actually in the hole. Trades do not end with me until the shares are gone. So everything in between is just me doing business, right? So I would have 1,000 uncovered shares with a cost basis still of 23. But if I want to use that first premium for cost basis reduction, well, guess what? Right here is my cost basis, right? I got them for about $23.50. Stock's trading for about $23.30. I got $3.50 on the first premium that I bought back, so now I have no obligation. I could sell another 30-day covered call, probably get about $4, and we start it all over again. Now, I'd be selling the $20.50 covered call, so I'm going to make nothing on the stock appreciation, but I pick up $4 in premium. So that'd be $4,000 on this trade. Now, for me, that's going to add to 2020's numbers. But what if you're not in that position, right? What if you're up here? The reality is this. We have now fallen some 9 points from 30X, 10 points. So here's the deal. You're stuck. You're stuck at $20 because the next covered call you write, say it's a 20 or a 21, 22, what are you going to do? This thing can move quickly back to 25X if there's some good news. You will be left in a unfavorable position because you're going to give your shares away much less than what your stock purchase price is. So really, you're dancing with the devil here, meaning you can't let it go to expiration. You're going to have to let the trade play out. As it goes higher in this scenario, I'll tell you, you're dancing with the devil because you can't let it go to expiration. You're going to have to buy it back higher, right? You got paid $4. Now you're going to have to buy it back higher, probably $4, $5, $6, adding to the cost basis. But then you would then roll up to the next covered call, right? You would then sell the next out of the money strike, hoping it continues to go higher. We try to roll up for credits. You're in a bad spot. Hey, look. I told you in the beginning of this video, I'm the guy in the mirror, right? I'm just going to tell you the flat truth. You have to really manage your trades. Now, let me finish. That $14 support line. I want to finish on that because this is the support line where I love it. I love it for a cherry picking cash secure put. I'll tell you why. Because we know that 14.15 is like real support, right? I mean, this thing bounced and traded off of that for weeks. Well, if Wall Street does peel this sucker off back to 14.15, there's a great chance that's where all those bottom feeders will come in and they'll start playing it again. Okay? So that might be a great spot. At 20x, sell the out of the money 14 or 15 cash secured put. Keep your windows tight, right? Maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, maybe 30-day trade, but keep the window tight. You'll be able to collect a decent premium on $1,400 invested. I bet you can go to the options chain right now and probably get $2 for that. And that kind of return on that much money invested, well, two things. One, you're dealing with more volatile stocks, right? The higher the premium usually means we're using more volatile stocks. But two, $2 on $1,400 invested? Yeah, do the math. That's a pretty good cash on cash return. Oh, don't you feel like we just crossed the finish line and you're like, oh man, finally I can get on with the rest of my day. I do apologize up front. I was a little long in this video. Really wanted to talk about all the different scenarios because I know a lot of you are in Workhorse right now at different levels. You're thinking about getting in it. Maybe you're in it near 30. Maybe you're in it like me, about 23x. You have a little wiggle room because you've sold calls against it. Wherever you're at, what I want you to do is this: make a good decision. At the end of the day, man, if you make a good decision, you're going to limit damn near most of your risk. That's the key here, man. A lot of people do not make good decisions and just pump the brakes, right? Try to break it down like I just showed you and make a good decision. Now, hey, a good decision might be subscribing to the channel because I'm going to come back and talk about what I end up doing with my current Workhorse trade. I'm thinking about doing a cash secure put. And look, if you liked anything, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And of course, I have that 1 month free offer waiting for you. Everything I showed you here is what my premium members get. And I'll tell you what, they get a lot of it. Having someone that is an active trader, an experienced trader, successful trader in this selling premium world, communicating with you, right? Because part of the upgraded CTP dashboard premium membership is you have access to me. I get thousands of emails and communications. I can't answer them all. But when you put skin in the game, I answer your emails. So look, go over there. If any of that interests you, sign up. 1 free month offer's waiting for you. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy. Most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.